Staying on health news, stroke, a condition that happens when blood supply to a part of the human brain is disrupted, is a fatal health condition which affects millions in many countries annually. In order to promote awareness about this deadly health problem, October 29th of every year is the day set aside in the world to unite individuals, healthcare professionals, and organizations that share knowledge and advocate for improved stroke care. Besides creating awareness, the day is also observed to highlight the risk factors and what can be done at the crucial moments immediately after an individual suffers a stroke. World Stroke Day is celebrated with a specific theme selected by the World Stroke Organization every year. This year's theme has been designated Together We're Greater Than Stroke. Earlier, we were joined in the news by a stroke survivor, Nena Aquara, who shared experience with us.
I'm a stroke survivor, as you know. I had a stroke at 23. Um, about, I think, 9 years ago, I had a stroke, and it was not like an easy thing. I remember that night. I was just dressing up for a celebrity basketball event, and all of a sudden I fell down and I couldn't walk. I couldn't even, get myself up. So I was wondering what happened. I didn't know that it was a stroke that happened. I mean, it was harsh, and it took my family almost 24 hours before I could get proper medical attention because all other hospitals kept on rejecting me, and they thought I would die, so they kept on rejecting me. So even I think one hospital stopped. They didn't have a bed, and they did CT scan or something, and that was it. I'm like, I couldn't walk, I couldn't talk, I was just locked in my body.
Joining me further to discuss World Stroke Day, we're joined by medical practitioner Dr. Philip Oragui. One welcome to you, Dr. Oragui, and thanks for joining us on the news.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Dr. Oragui, let's get straight to it. What are the common risk factors for stroke that you have observed among patients in Nigeria, and how can individuals better manage or reduce these risk factors?
Thank you. There are multiple factors that increase the risk of having stroke. Commonest among them is hypertension. Hypertension is a major factor that predisposes people to stroke. Again, you have diabetes. Diabetes is also very well known as a causative factor. There is also, because of the kind of diet we have here in Nigeria, we tend to have dyslipidemia. Dyslipidemia is where people have high cholesterol level. So that might lead to atherosclerosis. So atherosclerosis is also a known factor that can predispose to a stroke. We also have sickle cell anemia, sickle cell disease. A lot of people with sickle cell disease may develop stroke. And again, we have congenital anomaly. There are quite fewer. Congenital anomaly is fewer. You can have people with berry aneurysm and all that. These are some of the factors that can predispose to stroke.
Now, Dr. Philip, what are the available stroke treatment options and rehabilitation services in Nigeria, and what improvements are needed to enhance stroke care in the country?
Thank you. The most foremost, most important thing is prevention, awareness. Awareness is part of the solution. If we are aware of the causes of stroke and we do regular health checkup, we advocate that people should check themselves. Sometimes when I go to religious organizations, I find people giving what they call testimony and say, in the last 15 years, I've never been to hospital, and everybody clap for them. I think that is not right. People should regularly check themselves. and find out whether they have any of the predisposing factors, and they should start on time to do something about it. And where this stroke has finally occurred, treatment should be started on time. It's unfortunate what the lady just said about how she was rejected in several places, and how luckily eventually she was treated somewhere. So treatment should start on time. There should be high index of suspicion, and then there should be efficacious treatments started as early as possible. Again, where we are having problem in Nigeria is the lack of health professionals. And when I say health professional, it looks like I'm just talking of the high-end health professionals. That's not the only place where we are lacking. We're also lacking in the lower end, like people like community health extension workers. You don't see them in the communities. These are people that should go around, visit those that have stroke. Some of these people are already immobilized. To come out is very difficult for them. To visit hospital is very difficult for them. They should be visited by the community health extension workers. We don't even have that. And where some of the few we have prefer to work in the hospital as auxiliary nurses. We don't have them in our communities. All communities should have community health extension workers. Again, that's about the lower end of experts.
Yeah.
But at the higher end of experts, I think we're also lacking because of people are moving for greener pastures. That also is affecting us. I think if we can do
Yeah.
something about it.
So, Dr. Oragui, beyond the personal issues, could you kindly highlight some of the key challenges faced by healthcare professionals in diagnosing and treating stroke cases in the country, and what strategies can be implemented to address these challenges?
Some of the key challenges we are having as health professionals in diagnosis is not the main problem. I think we make a lot of diagnoses and we do that quite well. But that doesn't remove the fact that there are challenges. The challenges are the lack of equipment, lack of modern equipment. For instance, how many hospitals in Lagos can boast of CT scan? There are few hospitals that have that, and sometimes we have to outsource this. And also the cost, because of purchasing power, the average Nigerian has a low purchasing power. So the cost of having this CT scan investigation carried out is also an issue. Sometimes you find a diagnosis is made, and you know that this person has stroke, and you are wondering what kind of stroke. Is it hemorrhagic or is it ischemic stroke? And you need a CT scan to be able to fine-tune your diagnosis and start treatment. And then the patient tells you that they don't have the money for CT scan. Because there are few of them. And you know one thing in monopoly, when there are few people that has equipment, the cost of doing that investigation will be out of reach of the common man. I think that also is another challenge. But CT scan is not the only investigation we need to do. There are other sundry investigations we need to carry out, and overall, it is the purchasing power of the average Nigerian that is a problem. It's not even that the doctors cannot make diagnosis that is the issue. It is how much can the average Nigerian afford?
Thank you so much for your insights and contribution, Dr. Philip Oragui, medical practitioner, joining to discuss World Stroke Day. Thank you.
Thank you.